What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Before we jump into the video, I want to say I apologize if you hear a bunch of thumping and banging. There's a lot of construction that's going on like right outside this window. I can literally see them doing it. So if you hear that, that's what that is. But with that out of the way, today's topic is probably the most asked question, especially obviously around the holidays, and that is, how do I stay on track with my diet during the holidays? I think that this question is very much so valid no matter how many times it gets asked, because I have to say that I think, I've dieted during the holidays, I've not dieted during the holidays. I think that it is probably one of, if not the hardest thing to do, especially in America, because all of our holidays are so food focused, is to try and stay on track. I do agree that it is a very hard, if not I think the hardest thing to do when you are dieting. So I think I'm gonna break this video down into two different parts. So there's gonna be like mental preparation, things that you can do before the holiday is even coming up or even really that close to kind of get ready for the holidays, and then physical things that you can do as far as maybe like cutting calories or things like that that are physically going to help you during this season. So jumping straight into it, let's talk about the mental things that you can do to prepare for the holidays. One thing that's helped me tremendously around the holidays and just in general when it comes to dieting and trying to improve my health and fitness is to remember that dieting and trying to lose weight is supposed to, improve the quality of your life. You want to live a better life because of your diet and because of your exercise routine and trying to get healthy, right? So if you can't go to a family function and hang out with your friends and family because there's like food around that's unhealthy, right, in your eyes, that isn't improving the quality of your life. That's making your life a lot harder. So just remember, like literally, that is something that has been like an overarching theme with me when it comes to losing weight, when it comes to dieting, is just remember, the reason I'm doing this is to improve the quality of my life. And that really does help me kind of really think about things a little bit differently when the holiday season is around. Another thing that helps me a ton mentally is this analogy that I just came up with. I'm not sure if I heard it anywhere. I don't think I did, but just bear with me. So the analogy goes like this. Think of your health, weight loss, fitness journey as a huge staircase, right? Now, sometimes it is better to deliberately take a step back than to slip up and fall back 13 steps. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is if you know you have Thanksgiving coming up or you have a holiday coming up where there's gonna be food, it's gonna be really focused on food, tell yourself, I'm going to enjoy a piece of pumpkin pie or a piece of whatever your favorite dessert is, right? You already know that that's gonna happen. So when you go into that situation, you have that piece of pumpkin pie and you don't feel like you've slipped up, you don't feel bad about it because you told yourself that you were gonna do it anyways. That is a lot better than telling yourself, I am not at all going to eat anything that's bad for me because I am really focused on my goals. And then you end up eating a piece of pumpkin pie and you feel really upset and you're really mad at yourself, and then you're just like, well, screw it, I already messed up anyways, and then you just eat everything that you kind of wanted, and then you really feel like you've slipped back, those 13 steps. I think it's really important for us to set realistic goals. So there's nothing wrong with telling yourself, I want to have a piece of pumpkin pie for this, this huge celebration that my family is throwing or that my friends are throwing, instead of telling yourself, I will not eat anything, I will be strict, and I won't mess up at all, because most likely you will eat something that you maybe didn't want to. And then for me, at least personally, when that happens and I told myself I wasn't going to, I get upset at myself and then I end up eating a lot more than I was planning. So like I said, sometimes it is better to deliberately take a small step back instead of slipping up and then falling down 13 steps. Another huge mental help for me is to realize how much damage you can actually do in a day. So say you just ended up messing up, you completely blew up your diet, you just ate everything that you wanted and you had no regard for anything. If you really think about it, the amount of damage that you can actually do, and by damage I mean, the amount of fat that you can actually put on is very minimal in one day. You can maybe, and I'm saying at the most, maybe put on maybe 2 pounds of fat. Now you might wake up and weigh yourself and be up 15 pounds. Understand that's probably gonna be a lot of water weight. You probably ate way more sodium than you're used to, so your body is just holding on to a lot more water. But understand that you are not putting on 15 pounds of fat in a day. So if you just completely blow up your diet and you have no regard for it, just understand that the amount of damage that you did isn't that much. So just get straight back on that horse and just keep grinding. So those are the mental ways that I prepare for the holidays. Let's jump into the physical things that I actually do to prepare for the holidays. So one thing that I like to do if I know I have a big holiday dinner coming up, I actually have my Thanksgiving is actually happening today, the day that you guys are watching this video. So if I know I have that coming up and I'm really focused on, trying to lose weight or trying to cut, what I'll do is maybe a day or two before that dinner, you know, obviously you know when it's gonna be coming up, try taking out just a little bit of calories from your diet. So maybe about 200 calories. I am not saying starve yourself, but just kind of prepare yourself, right? So instead of eating, if you're normally eating 2,500 calories, just drop that down to maybe 2,300 calories. And, you know, again, don't starve yourself, but kind of just prepare yourself for that meal. Another thing that I like to do is normally if you're going to, you know, a Thanksgiving dinner or a big dinner, they ask people to bring their own sides, right? So if you can make a healthy side, something that you know that you will enjoy, that hopefully, you know, the rest of the family will enjoy too, you'll know you'll have that there for yourself so you can eat that as well. Another thing that I like to do, now this is something that helps me when I go to the store to buy food too, is make sure that you're hydrated. So drink a lot of water. Don't go there, you know, being super thirsty. And another thing is actually try not to go there super hungry. I know it's hard because for me, I like to be really hungry because I love like Thanksgiving food and all of that, those types of food. But if you're really worried about overeating, if you go there and you're already, I'm not saying you have to be completely full, but you're not starving as they start to actually serve the dinner, you will have a lot better chance of not overeating all of those foods because you already have a little bit of food in your stomach. You have one plate. You're able to enjoy all the foods that you want, but you don't need to go for second, thirds, and fourths. Another thing that helps me a ton is trying to load my plate with high volume, low calorie options. Now, obviously it's kind of hard because most of the food is not meant to be the most diet friendly, but if you can find the sides, maybe like the broccoli and the stuff that, you know, the salads, normally there's some salads there that will be, you know, higher volume, will get you fuller, but won't be full of calories, that can really, really help. This also helps with like all of the meats. Most of the meats are gonna be a little bit more lean than like, you know, the mashed potatoes that are full of cheese and everything. So if you can load your plate with, you know, a few slices of turkey, a few slices of ham, maybe a side of veggies, and then maybe, I mean, obviously you have a little bit of the stuffing, you have a little bit of the mashed potatoes, but try and load your plate with as much of the high volume, low calorie food that you can. This is a tip that I give to anyone if you're dieting whenever throughout the year, but try not to drink your calories. So a lot of times there will be, you know, delicious drinks, you know, eggnog and all these really, really good things that, you know, taste delicious. Now, you can have a little bit for sure, but just understand that there's still calories in those drinks. So if you can limit yourself to, you know, a water, or if you really want something that has some taste to it, maybe like a diet soda or something like that. I understand everyone has their own different thoughts of diet sodas. If you don't want it, you don't have to drink it, but try and limit your calories from liquid because, you know, there's always those sneaky calories that can get into your diet. Another thing I do want to prepare you guys for if you've never dieted during the holidays is if you are close with your family, you're probably gonna have some people that if you do get a plate of food that are like, oh, you shouldn't eat that, you're on a diet, aren't you on a diet, you shouldn't eat that. Just understand that that's gonna happen, and trust me, it never gets any less annoying, but just understand that they're probably trying to, in their own head, maybe trying to help, or they're trying to be funny. Just understand that normally there's no ill will in that. It is annoying, I completely agree, and there's nothing you can really do about it. Just let them know like, hey, it's Thanksgiving, I'm gonna eat, and then I can jump on my diet tomorrow. Because a lot of times, especially if it's maybe a family member that you're not super close with, and they've seen that you've made a lot of progress, a lot of times, and I don't want to, you know, talk bad about your family members, but a lot of times people, they subconsciously are starting to get aware of your success, and it almost makes them a little bit upset because they want that success too. So just try and see where it's coming from, and try not to let it bother you too much, because people will make, you know, statements, they will say stuff. It's happened to me all the time. Just let it roll off your back and just continue to enjoy your holiday. And then above all else, just understand that these holidays are about the people. They're about your family. They're about your loved ones. So do your best to enjoy your time with them. Don't sit in the kitchen. Don't stand in the kitchen all the time. Don't try and, you know, just walk around, look at the food and how good it is. Try and enjoy the company. Try and enjoy the people that you're with. Talk about them, about their lives, especially if it's people you haven't been able to see for a long time. You know, learn about them. What are they going through? All of those things, so you're not focused on the food, you're focused on the people. And then last but not least, if there are leftovers, either try and give them away or throw them down the garbage disposal, because that is the hardest part for sure. There you guys go. Those are my tips for dieting during the holidays. Obviously, I know that there's probably some stuff that I wasn't able to get to, so if you have any tips that you think might help people, please in the comment section down below, let us know what you think your good tips are to help people that are dieting through the holidays. If it's your first time, just understand it is hard and it's not an easy thing, so if you feel like you've slipped up a little bit, you're not alone, and just understand that because it is very, very difficult. But just jump back on that horse and start going, because it really isn't the end of the world if you mess up a little bit. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There was one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, look how buff I am.
Obey the warning signs, and when there are flashing lights or wigwags, don't attempt to cross until they come to a complete stop.